Hello, my name is Enrique Cantu with Tech Services Technology Training and Development. In today's video, we are going to cover Instructional Assistance Special Education Accommodations Training. Our goal today is to inform you of the tools available in Google Suite applications. These applications can be used to enhance documents and incorporate district-approved accommodations. With the information you receive today, you will be able to change fonts, change font size, change line spacing, highlight and underline text, insert page numbers, create a word bank, color coding, and bulleted lists. Now you may be wondering, why is it important to know this information? Well, to start, these basic G Suite editing tools can help you with work-related tasks you may encounter throughout the workday. The most important reason is your opportunity to encourage learning by providing support or a service to help a student fully access the general education curriculum. By utilizing the tools covered in this lesson, you will be providing accommodations, ultimately affecting how a student receives information. This training will aid you in providing a student with equal access to learning and level the playing field so your students can participate meaningfully in the general education curriculum. Our objective today is to give you a better understanding of a few G Suite editing tools so you can assist in creating accessible documents to meet your students' educational needs. This training is self-paced with a stream of tutorial videos. Throughout the training, you will have the ability to pause and practice what you learn in each section or to readdress any areas you are not comfortable with. Simply use the pause and play buttons found on the video player. In order to apply the lesson, we will be using a Google Doc. However, the instructions can be applied across the G Suite spectrum. In order to follow along, pause this video and open the Google Doc attached to this training module or from the description box below. We will use this document as a practice ground throughout the video. At this time, if you have not opened your practice documents, pause the video and please do so. Once you are ready, you can continue with the lesson. Menu bar. Prior to engaging the lesson topics, let's familiarize ourselves with the G Suite menu and editing bars. In your Google Doc, the top bar is known as the menu bar. Just like a menu at a restaurant, this section will display several document options to choose from. From left to right, you have the File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Add-ons, and Help menu. Using our restaurant analogy, each menu offers different selections depending on the course of your meal. In the File menu, you will find selections pertaining to the document as a whole, such as opening a new or previously worked on document, downloading or emailing the document, and printing or file management of the document. In the Edit menu, you will find quick actions to immediately undo or redo a document action, along with copy and paste selections. In the Insert menu, you will find options of insertable materials such as tables, images, and page numbers. From the Format menu, we dive deeper into the management of document styling, from paragraph styles, line spacing, and bullet formatting. In our Add-ons menu, you will find document add-ons specific to the application you are working on. For this training, we will not be using the Add-ons menu. Lastly, in our list of menus, we have the Help option, where you can find help topics to help in editing your work along with training covering the application you are working in. Action bar. In our discussion of the menu bar, you may have noticed another toolbar directly below it. This is known as the Action bar. In this bar, you will find quick action buttons that can be found using the menu bar. However, the Action bar is a more convenient way of accessing these actions quickly. Keep in mind that using the Action bar performs an immediate action on the document and does not offer any menu options as the previously mentioned menu bar. By clicking one of these actions, you will see an immediate reaction to the document depending on the selection made. These actions are divided into sections pertaining to editing the text, inserting images, and alignment of paragraphs as an example. Let's familiarize ourselves with these actions. Starting from left to right, we have the undo, redo, print, spelling and grammar check, and paint action buttons. In the next sections, we have zoom, styles, font, and font size buttons. Following those sections are the bold, italic, underline, text color, and highlight color buttons. Next section includes inserting items to the document and are as follows: insert link, add comments, and insert image. To the right of the inserting section, we have paragraph alignment icons to include left, centered, right, and justified. In our last sections, we have line spacing, numbered list, bulleted list, decrease/increase indent, and lastly, clear formatting. For this training, we will be using a mixture of buttons from the menu and action bars. Unfortunately, we will not be covering every action or menu bar button, but instead have put together a training incorporating a few commonly used editing tools you will use to inject accommodations to everyday lessons. Font and font size. In this first section, we will be covering fonts and font sizing. These two items provide an accommodation drawing emphasis to the written text of the document. These can be used to differentiate key words, phrases, or simply give the student a bigger font to see in general. Font. Changing the font can give a paragraph, sentence, or heading a different look for your reader to identify. In your training materials, select text from your training document as shown in the video. From the quick action bar in the font selection, click the drop-down arrow to select a font to be used in the highlighted text. Font size. Changing the size of your font can make the text bigger or smaller to accommodate the reader. In your training materials, select text from your training document as shown in the video. From the quick action bar in the font size section, click the drop-down arrow to select the size to be used on the highlighted text. Take a moment to pause the video and practice choosing a font and font sizing. Line spacing, highlighting, underline. Next, we have line spacing, highlighting, and underlining. Once again, these accommodations are used to draw emphasis to the written text of the document. Line spacing. Line spacing is used to space out the paragraphs in order to separate lines of text, giving the reader a specific focus area. In your training materials, select text from your training document, as shown in the video. From the quick action bar, in the line spacing section, click the drop-down arrow to select a spacing to be used on the highlighted text. Highlighting. This tool allows for highlighting a section of text, drawing emphasis to the content. In your training materials, select text from your training document as shown in the video. From the quick action bar in the highlight color section, click the highlight color icon to select a color to be used on the selected text. Underline. Underlining adds a similar effect as highlighting. In your training materials, select text from your training document as shown in the video. From the quick action bar, in the underline section, click the underline icon to add the action to the selected text. Time for you to practice. Use the provided document to mimic the video demonstration, or make your own changes using line spacing, highlighting, and underlining. Page numbers, word bank, color coding, bullet points. For this next section, we will be dealing with identifiers, such as page numbers, word banks, color coding, and bullet points. These accommodations can be used to number pages for reference, group like words, code word groupings by color, and identify a list using bullet points. Page numbers. For student referencing, you can add a page number to the document, providing an indicator the student can use while reviewing course materials. In your training materials, from the menu bar, select the Insert tab. In the new pop-up window, hover your mouse over the page number selection. From here, you can select a page numbering option to insert into your working document. Word bank, color coding. For this next section, we use a combination of editing tools to create a word bank incorporating color coding. This tool can be useful when grouping or organizing like words to be used in the lesson. Now, in your training materials, move your cursor to an area on the document where you wish to make an insertion, as shown in the video. From the menu bar, select the Insert tab. In the new pop-up window, hover your mouse over the table selection. From here, you will be given the option to select the number of cells you want to have present in your table. A table will now be inserted into the document. For this demonstration, the user is creating a word bank, categorizing his list in a series of columns. As you can see, he has given each column a heading, then listing a bank of words under each. The user has chosen this method to group like words only using 3 columns. At insertion of the table, you may choose more as needed. The method allows you to set the word bank by using headers for each column. This method may not fit every scenario. As an example, you may want to simply have a table that only houses words for a student to choose from without a need for headers. If this is the case, you can omit the header procedures from this section. Now for the rest of this section, the user will continue the header method and include some additional formatting. At this point, I would like to introduce you to the More menu button, identified by the 3 dots icon on the Actions bar. As you continue to edit the document, the More option will appear, giving you more editing quick actions to be used with certain editing tools, such as the table we are showing now. After clicking the More option, a list of additional quick action buttons will appear that you can use in editing this table. Now the user has decided to change the background color of the headers by clicking the More option, then clicking the Background Color button drop-down arrow, and selecting a color from the available options. He has also decided to change the normal text to a bold setting by clicking the Bold Quick Action button, emphasizing the headers. Next, he justifies the paragraph alignment for the headers by clicking on the Align Quick Action menu, then selecting Center Align. To better differentiate the headers and table word bank, the user adds some color to the word bank by clicking the More option, then clicking the Background Color button drop-down arrow, and selecting a color from the available options as previously shown. Finally, he uses the paragraph alignment process to center the words under each header. Keep in mind, this is just an example for you to practice with in order to get a feel of the options available to you. You may adjust any of the shown steps to accommodate your final products. Before moving to the next section, take some time to practice and readdress any of the aforementioned steps. This section can be tricky, so take your time and rewatch any portion of the word bank color coding section. Bulleting. This is the last section of this video. In this section, we will show you how to create a bulleted list that can be used to list items chronologically, step by step, or numbered order. In your training materials, move your cursor to an area on the document where you wish to add a bulleted list. Begin typing the items from your list, utilizing a separate line of the document for each item as shown in the example. Now select the items you wish to be bulleted, click the Bulleted List Quick Action menu button, and the selected items will now be listed as bullets. After the last bullet, you may continue your bulleted list by clicking the Enter button to auto-generate another bullet. Time for you to practice. This concludes Instructional Assistant Special Education Accommodations training. In this training, you have learned how to change fonts, change font size, change line spacing, highlight and underline text, insert page numbers, create a word bank, color coding, and bulleted lists. This session was geared to getting you familiar with the G Suite document editing tools and help create a foundation on which for you to grow. Even though we did not cover all the G Suite editing possibilities, the items covered in this module will help you get started incorporating accommodations for your students. Lessons learned today not only benefit your overall G Suite awareness, but most importantly, level that playing field in general education and provide much needed learning opportunities for our students. Thank you for your participation, and I hope you have a great day.